What is up? It is Rocky Tiger here. Yes, I am still alive, and yeah, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it? We've got cows and some pigs that are chasing us around, and some weird-looking things. And as you can probably see, I am well, I'm not wearing my king outfit. I'm not wearing any of the normal skin. I've kind of got this kind of adventurer looking thing going on here. I think it's more like a ranger going on here, and just a new skin, trying out some new clothes. Um, Makes me feel good about myself. Okay, so leave me alone. So where to start? Beyond Vanilla Season 3 Kingdoms. What happened? Well, it failed. It failed miserably. It was a disaster, and it doesn't really need a lot of detail. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail. I'm just going to say that it didn't pan out the way that we wanted it to, and so yeah, we're not doing kingdoms. We're doing something else entirely. So let's just leave it at that, because we're going to go ahead and start off with announcing Beyond Vanilla Season 4. I don't really know if there's a subtitle for it yet right now. What I've just been referring to it as what I've been referring to it as is slightly more Beyond Vanilla than before. Which is a little bit too much, so I'm not really sure. We're just going to call it Beyond Vanilla Modded. That's right, we are doing a modded server for Season 4. Check this out. Look at some of this terrain generation. What are we running here? This is a Biomes of Plenty Tundra, so this is a tundra biome. And if we go over here, we have a fir clearing, and I think this is called, what is it, coniferous forest? Yes, giant fir trees. But that is not all. No, that is not all. Of course, we're not going to leave it at just doing Biomes of Plenty, although it is amazing. Completely changes the way that the game will be played, explored, and what sort of stuff that we can build. But if we're going to go modded, we might as well go all out and do some really awesome mods. Again, we're Beyond Vanilla, so we're going to be keeping a mostly vanilla feel. We're not going to go with things that are going to completely change the way that the game plays or the way that people interact with each other. But what we are going to do is we are going to go beyond what normal Minecraft is, vanilla Minecraft, and we're going to try and give people a different sort of gameplay experience, but keeping a mostly vanilla feel to it. I think I probably just repeated myself or rephrased that in some really weird ways. I'm out of practice, okay? I haven't done any recording in a month, all right? So just leave me alone. I've been playing a replay of The Witcher 3 for the last 4 to 5 weeks since I did a last recording, and I needed a break, all right? But now we're back, and we're gonna have some fun, and the new server is gonna be launching in a week or two, maybe more, depending on how long we want to actually take getting everything up to snuff. This is not the server world. This is just a random single player mode that I jumped into because I wanted to show off some of the cool new stuff that's being added into the slightly more Beyond Vanilla mod pack. So let's just jump right into displaying some of the things, so that if you join us on the server, or if you are going to be one of our players, or if you just want to follow along, you can kind of get a feel for what Beyond Vanilla Season 4 is all about. So obviously, first and foremost, we are running with Biomes of Plenty. So we have a massive variety of new blocks to play with and choose from this mod pack by itself. Let's just grab a couple of different trees just to see what sort of things we're going to get to have and play with. There's one in particular that I wanted. Where is it? Palm, no. Fir, no. Redwood, there we are. And then let's just go ahead and grab ourselves some bone meal, just because we're going to take a look at this. So Biomes of Plenty adds in over 80 different biome variants to the Minecraft world, including cherry groves. This one is a white cherry sapling. There are other cherry saplings. It adds in something called the Mystic Grove, which has some really cool blue trees. And look at this, look at this, look at this blue wood. That is neat. I love it. It's even called a magic log. Another thing that it adds in is something called the ominous woods. And is it gonna grow? I don't know if it'll grow here. Maybe the umbrum saplings can only grow in a 2x2. I don't know. Okay, let's try somewhere further away from trees where it's just completely in its own thing, because I think this is one of those trees that's just pretty big. Nope, looks like we're just not going to get it. I don't know. There's some special requirements for that. But then there's also Redwood, which is freaking awesome if I could get it to grow. You know what I bet it is? I bet that these aren't going to grow because they are... It's this weird rule where you have to have nothing actually surrounding it, so you can't have snow. Even snow will cause it to not grow. There we go. So there's a Redwood. Freaking awesome, freaking massive. I'm going to bet that the umbrum is probably the same thing. Let's do this real quick. There we go. So it's a big tree. So the snow blocks or snow layers will actually interfere with its growing. But yeah, so you can find massive redwood forest. You can find the ominous woods, which are full of other dangerous things. You know, like I said, we had tundra over here. We had coniferous forest over here. I think that's a fir clearing is where I had us just over there. And it just adds in so much variety in terms of the overall color, the overall feel of all the different blocks. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am super excited. If it was just Biomes of Plenty, if we didn't add anything else to the game, I would still be excited just to have these new varieties of different wood blocks to play around with. But there's so much more. The mod pack that I designed is actually really small in terms of mod pack sizes, and the idea was that we wanted everything to kind of keep a relatively vanilla feel, and we didn't want anything to be too game changing in terms of changing the game mechanics or adding new elements to the gameplay. So most of the stuff is going to be fairly vanilla, but we're mainly just adding a whole lot of variety to the game. And this mod pack was made mostly by me. I did a lot of the stuff of curating and testing all the different mod packs in conjunction with each other, not mod packs, testing all the different mods to make sure they all played nicely. But it was a joint effort by the staff members of the Beyond Vanilla server and myself. I'm just excited that it actually seems to be working and functioning. So let's just jump into some of the other stuff that we have done. So we have the I Like Wood mod pack. Actually, I think it's called the I Love Wood mod, which adds different types of wood items to the game. So basically we have diamond acacia pickaxes, diamond stone, or not diamond stone, stone birch. We have all these different varieties. It's all the different types of wood, so you have more variety. And honestly, I think that the oak ones just look kind of silly, but it adds some fun stuff to it. Another one down here that's more of a functional one, this is one of my favorite ones that we added, is the practical tools. Practical tools. So what practical tools does is really fun. So we have basically super versions of the shovel, the excavator, super version of the pickaxe, the hammer, and a super version of the axe, the great axe. And so what the great axe does, we'll start with this, is boom, it gets rid of all of the tree blocks or wooden logs on top of it. And so if we just cut down a single redwood tree in one fell swoop and collected a stack of redwood. We also have a mod that's called Rapid Leaf Decay, so it just disappears super quickly. And that will work on any tree. You know, these are all wooden blocks that are added in from Biomes of Plenty, so you can see that it acknowledges that they're wooden blocks and it cuts it down super quickly. And of course you get all your sapling sticks and everything else. Now next up we have the excavator. The excavator is super awesome. What the excavator does is it will dig out a 3 by 3 by 1 area, just like that. So it's a 3 by 3 area by 1. And it'll do this both going down or going to the side. And this will do this with any block that would normally be dug out by the shovel. So it's not going to do it to stone. For example, if I come down and try and run this on stone or anything like that, it's not going to work. You can see this gravel over here. It will dig out the gravel. So you can clear out massive areas super, super quickly with like way faster than you ever could dig out before. The diamond does the same thing, or not the diamond, the hammer does the same thing, only it does it with blocks that would normally be picked out by a pickaxe. And there you go. That's how it works. So there are a couple of caveats to these. You might think these are too game breaking. These are going to change things too much and make it too easy for people. Well, no, it's really not, and it's really not because of how expensive these blocks are, or these tools are, to make. So if we were going to build ourselves any of these, you know, we're just going to grab, let's just grab a ton of diamond blocks. If we were going to build any of these, the excavator, the great axe, or the hammer, you're actually going to need the block variants of what you would normally build a pickaxe out of. So normally you build a pickaxe out of 2 sticks and, you know, say 3 diamonds. Well, you need to build the hammer 3 diamond blocks. That's 27 diamonds to build 1 diamond hammer. It's the same thing if you want to build the excavator. That's 9 diamonds basically to build a shovel, and another 27 diamonds to build the great axe. And there are variants that are both the iron as well as the gold variants of these particular blocks. So when some people say, well, it's too game breaking, it's going to make mining too easy, it's going to change the game too much, yeah, you're absolutely right that it could change the game quite a bit, but it's an investment. It is not just a, let me just make myself a diamond pickaxe. You have to really think about it if you want to build yourself a diamond hammer, because 27 diamonds, that's almost half a stack of diamonds. That's a lot just to build a single item. And I don't think that this Practical Tools mod adds these items into the game in terms of villager trades. I don't think that it affects villager trading at all. So you can't trade with the villager to get these either. You really got to think about whether or not you want a diamond shovel or a diamond great axe. I think the axe is the one that's the most worth it to me, but you know, depending on if I'm going to be digging out massive areas, those other ones could also be useful. What I haven't tested yet, and it's the one thing I don't know, but I assume that it's true, is whether or not these things work in conjunction with a beacon. So, you know, why am I grabbing multiple of these? That's silly. Let's just go ahead and grab that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we've got a full beacon with haste 2, and now we've got our excavator with efficiency 5. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that it does indeed work. Now the real question is going to be, what is the effect with the hammer? Oh, wow. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, so in conjunction with a haste 2 beacon, that is pretty spectacular. So definitely adds a different element to the game, but that's kind of the point. You know, we're trying to take things just a little bit further. All right, let's move on real quick and let's take a look at some of the other things that have been added to the game. We have Frostfire. I'm blanking on the name all of a sudden. We've got a couple of new enchantments. We've got Bloodlust, Vampiric, Pillaging, Crushing Blade, Poison Aspect, Wither Aspect, Archer's Revenge, Searing, and Steadfast. Vampiric is pretty cool. What Vampiric does is it lets you, absorb health directly from an enemy. Wither Aspect is basically like Fire Aspect, only it gives your enemy the Wither effect. Poison gives them a poison effect. So that's kind of neat. I really should just turn the daylight cycling off on here, but I'm not going to do that. So we've got some new features going on in there. Brewing, is there anything new in brewing? I don't think so. Nothing gets changed in the transportation, so we'll move on. We have the Mow Glowstone mod, which adds Mow Glowstone because, you know, glowstone is a kind of sad that we only have the one thing. So now we have multiple glowstone options. You know, all the different colors that you would normally have, including something called glowstone fuel, which I guess is glowstone dust. I don't actually know. The Ring of Teleport. This is a really cool functional mod that we are going to be using in a very particular way. So you set your location by holding shift and right clicking on the ground, and then you right click when you're not able to select a block. See, like this, my location is already set, but if I'm looking at an area where it's far enough away, so basically looking at air, I can teleport back. And then to clear the location, I look up at nothing, hold shift and right click, and it clears the location. So we're going to be using these for a very particular reason, because they are craftable in game. We don't want them to be craftable, so we're going to be using some command trickery to make these uncraftable by players, and we're actually going to be giving them away as awards for different contests that we're going to be having on the server. So we're going to do a weekly screenshot contest as well as a bi-weekly build contest, and then there are going to be a couple other things here and there that we'll do, and we'll use Ring of Teleports as a kind of reward item, a special artifact type of item, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. The turf mod, which adds different types of turf, which you can craft from grass, so you need silk touch, I guess, to get the grass, and then you can use turf blocks, which essentially for me are like, you know, thatched roof, so you could do some thatched roof cottages or something like that, which I think will be fun. Underground materials adds a variety of different types of ore to the game. The underground materials can be crafted into different weapons, which are more powerful or less powerful, or even just, you know, in this case, the steel sword is the fastest sword in the game right now, I think. There are a couple other weapons that are added from a different mod that we'll get to in a minute. And then I also have different types of armor that go along and get associated with those. The Woodcutter, the co-rail Woodcutter, basically adds what Mojang should have had in the first place, which is they put a stone cutter in the game, so now we have a woodcutter in the game, which does basically the same thing, only it's for wood rather than stone, and so that's a fun one. And then here we go, the Midnight. So we have Midnight building blocks in here, tons of different variety that gets added to that. If you can tell, they all look kind of spooky. There's also Midnight decoration, Midnight items, Midnight tools, and Midnight combat. So we've got a whole series of different swords and different types of armor, shield, these things which are really cool, different types of bombs with different effects. I can't remember what all of the effects are, but they are fun. And these are added from a mod that is called the Midnight. And the Midnight is a separate dimension, kind of like the Nether or the End dimension, only the difference is that you can only get to the Midnight through randomly generated rifts that open up in the overworld at night. And once you go through a rift, good luck getting out, because the return rifts are even more rare to find than the normal rifts. So that's going to be a lot of fun to get players stuck into. Oh, and by the way, for those Beyond Vanilla-ers who are watching this, the Ring of Teleport does not work across dimensions. So if you get stuck into the Midnight and you can't get out and you have a Ring of Teleport, it will not help you. You will be stuck in the Midnight until you can find a rift to get out, or until you die. I assume that you would not have your spawn set in the Midnight, which I'll get to something interesting about spawn in a minute. First, we're going to do set world spawn. So now my world spawn is set to right there, because I want to show you something that involves me dying. And I'm going to first, let's throw this. Okay, that's the... There it goes. The night shroom. So we have the darkness effect, and we can't see anything. That's cool. And it should wear off... Does it wear off as we get further away? Yep, there we go. So... And it doesn't come back. So that's kind of a cool one for some PvP stuff. We have the Dew Shroom Bomb. And what does that add? We're stunned and we have slowness 5. Oh no. Oh gosh. I'm not moving. Look at that. I can jump. I gotta go. Let's get out of here. Let's get rid of this effect. Okay, and we're good. And then there's also something called a Bog Shroom and a Virid Shroom. And then my favorite, which is the Blade Shroom Cap, which is essentially, yeah, we got the advancement now, Shroomikins. And they, I don't actually know how much damage they do, but look at that. You could just... And it looks like you can recollect them, but I'm not sure if that's just because I'm in creative mode or not. But yeah, so we have a throwing weapon that, you know, let's see how accurate these things are from a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks. So we're on the 10th block, and so it looks like they have kind of a fading effect, or a kind of bullet drop of about half a block. Yeah, about half a block drop, which is not too bad. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm not sure how you get those either, but we'll find out. They're definitely part of the Midnight. The last mod that we have that involves items is the Torchmaster, which is supposed to give you a mega torch that prevents mobs from spawning in a 100 block radius. I don't know if it actually works or not. It's one that I've been having trouble testing, but right now it's stable, and at the very least it's a big torch, so it does add a different item of lighting to the game. So we're just going to run with it for right now and see if I can actually get it to add its correct functionality at some point. It might just be a configuration file that I need to go into and edit. I've been having some difficulty with that one. So now let's talk about dying real quick here, okay? So let's go pretty high up into the sky. Remember, we set our spawn right about here. Let's not fall into water. And goodbye, cruel world. I died. Okay, so I've respawned, and my world spawn is now right over here. And look, this obituary popped into my... Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know it would do that. I didn't realize it would make me look around. So the obituary has popped into my inventory, and it is very handy. It tells me I died in the dimension of the overworld. It tells me the day that I died. It tells me the exact location that I died, and all the different items that I had on me at death. And now I can just... I can turn on this. I can turn on this. I can say, okay, 384. So I was at 384, so I was over this way, and I was at Z 4737, so I was down here, 4737. So, and there we go, there's my grave. And look, it's got my head. So it tells me if I right click on it when I died. If I break it, all my items pop out, including some... I guess I must have gotten some snowballs from digging. Didn't realize that. And there we go. I've got my items back. So that is pretty nifty. And yeah, let's throw some. So it's a neat mod that gets added to it. I don't know if other players can break your gravestone or not. I haven't checked on that one yet. It's some of those things that it's just kind of hard to check on and see how they work when you're playing like single player modes, essentially, to do some testing with the different mods. But that is kind of an overall gist of some of the different things that we're going to be playing with and having some fun with. there is a little bit more and some other fun features that have been added to the game. And oh, look over there. There's a rift. This is a really fortuitous, because I don't think that we would normally be able to run into one this quickly. But this, my friends, is a rift into the Midnight Dimension. So if I go through here, I will likely never be seen again. So it's been nice knowing you. Oh look, there's one of the rift mobs. I can't remember what they're called. He's got a name. What is his name? He's stolen a cow. It's a rifter, and he just stole a cow and dragged it back into the midnight. Well, let's just take a quick look. I mean, how much could it hurt? Oh dear. Oh my. This is spooky. This is frightening. And with that, I'm gonna leave it here and say there's a lot of stuff in here to explore. Let's not spoil too much of it. If you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, subscribe. There are going to be new videos for the Beyond Vanilla modded server put out on the same release schedule that I had before, which was every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And, you know, I'm going to grab myself a torch because it's dark. But, yeah, I'm excited. This new season's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of adventures to be had and a lot of shenanigans that are going to be going on. And so I look forward to keeping up with y'all shortly here in the new future when the server officially gets launched. And now I'm going to log off because the midnight is absolutely terrifying. Bye!